I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about when you're anxious to date or dating when you're shy.
This happens to the best of us, you guys. Before we begin, I did want to say that Craig and I are available for coaching sessions. So if you would like to talk about your situation one-on-one with us, you can head to our website and book from there.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Don't be shy about that, yeah.
So many people get a lot of anxiety about dating, and obviously a lot of that has to do with your own insecurities and attachment issues, and maybe you've had trauma with dating in the past, or you haven't had good luck and success with dating. So you're apprehensive, you're anxious, maybe you're insecure about who you are and that people are gonna wanna stay with you in the long run. And there are so many different aspects and components to dating and meeting new people. So it causes a lot of dating anxiety, and we see it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some people have been in relationships for many years and they don't know how to date, you know, and so they're like dating for the first time after a divorce. So if you're going through that, it's totally normal. Being nervous around others is totally normal. Worrying about what other people may think about you, fear of rejection, all of those things are very common for many, many people.
Right, and some of you just have social anxiety as it is. Mm-hmm. So approaching people, really having those social skills, those communication skills can be really challenging. Mm-hmm. You know, if you think about it, a lot of times dating, you're really interacting with a stranger.
Yeah.
Or someone you don't know to that level of vulnerability quite yet. And put yourself out there on a limb. Mm-hmm. So it does take vulnerability, and it can be hard. It can cause a lot of anxiety.
Yes. You know, I remember years ago, pickup artists used to be really huge.
Yeah.
And they got a really bad rap. And, you know, there's some truth to why they got a bad rap. But a lot of those guys were just trying to learn the social skills to meet and approach people that a lot of those guys genuinely wanted relationship. Of course, there's going to be players that are doing it. But, you know, some of those guys, you know, are just trying to learn basic skills because so many of us don't have our dads around to teach us and show us things. Like, most people have their mom around, and moms often can explain things to their daughters, and they don't do so as much with their sons. And so the guys are kind of left floundering, not knowing what to say or what to do.
Right, and if you think about it, even neurodivergence. There was someone who had left a comment on one of our videos talking about autism, that they had autism and the social skills part was difficult.
Yeah.
And I heard it described, autism is kind of like everybody is playing a game that you don't know the rules of until you break it. So, you know, there's so much that goes into interacting with people and the social aspect of it that can make dating a challenge.
Absolutely. And you love that show.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Love on the Spectrum?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a Netflix series called Love on the Spectrum that follows various autistic singles and, you know, their journey in finding love. So it's really fascinating, and I think it's something to be cherished and celebrated.
Yeah.
So in this video, we're going to talk about some of the tips and tricks on dating and how to approach dating. We're hoping that it can give you at least a bit of a guide, some things to think about next time you're on a date, next time you're approaching a woman, a man, otherwise. So keep these things in mind.
All right, what do we got? What do you do?
The very first thing is to break out of your comfort zone.
No, that's not comfortable.
It's not comfortable whatsoever. A way to prepare for dating is to interact with people in the real world. And I say this because I know many of us are interacting online with others first with the boom in online dating. There's recent research that showed most people meet online now, which makes a lot of sense in comparison to back in the day when it was through work or in the neighborhood or in, you know, your apartment building, etc.
Yeah.
So interacting with people in real life.
And I have a very simple trick that is so effective, and anyone could do it.
What is it?
All you have to do is say hi to people.
Yeah.
Just constantly say hi to people everywhere you go. Just say hi. And you just do it to everybody. Somebody walks by, politely say hi, make eye contact, maybe smile. Just do that for a while. Do that for a few months, and you'll see that talking to people gets so much easier just by saying hi and getting comfortable with doing that tiny little step.
Right. And if you're comfortable enough, try new hobbies, new interests. There's communities of people out there that gather around probably something that you enjoy and like.
And they all practice saying hi to each other.
They do.
That's the
just
group.
In a circle, just hi.
It's the name of the group. We just say hi.
But I'm sure there are group activities out there that you can get involved with. Not necessarily with, this romantic pursuit intention, but just with the intention of socializing, getting comfortable, having a conversation, continuing that conversation, those social skills like you talked about, that eye contact, being aware of what they're doing, what their body language is telling you.
Yeah.
So these are all really important things.
I wouldn't say hi, though.
You'd say bye?
No, I would say, hello there.
Oh.
That's a Star Wars reference. All the Star Wars fans will love it.
You should join the Star Wars group then.
Ooh.
Leave the
just say hi to Star Wars.
If you are completely comfortable, then you're doing it wrong. If you feel like you haven't challenged yourself or been in a different environment with a different group of people, or even scenarios where you might be intimidated by others. Maybe you're a novice chess player and you join a chess team, something like that. A place where it challenges you, because that's really where you grow. You find that what's called a resilient edge of resistance. I think it's more of a yoga term, but it's basically this space where you challenge yourself enough to where you're not causing damage or injury to your body, but you're in that place where the most growth can happen before that point.
Yep.
So we're not saying that you should go out there and publicly embarrass yourself, but we are saying putting yourself in those situations that challenge your social skills. And these things can look like karaoke. If you feel like you're going to have a very traumatic event doing karaoke, don't do it. Okay, but if you feel like this could be a healthy challenge, it might be something good for you.
Yep.
Complimenting a stranger. That could be something that can be helpful. Don't be creepy.
Yeah.
When you do that, don't be creepy. The other one, which is my personal
Coach
favorite.
Victoria told me.
I love the way your socks smell. Don't say something like that. My personal favorite is dancing. Dancing is a physical contact kind of a activity. It's one where you're socializing with many different people typically. If it's partner dancing or any kind of dancing, if you're in a group setting, it could be something that's physical, that's also fun and social.
Yep. Or try stand-up comedy.
Yeah, that's true.
Go to an open mic night. If you're really feeling brave.
We said something not traumatic.
Well, that was traumatizing for me. Maybe not for them out there.
Maybe.
Well, but yeah, that's something big. But if you can get up in front of a lot of people and do jokes or try to, then a lot of other things don't seem as scary. I can tell you that.
Right.
Here's a big one that a lot of people do wrong. When they do make an effort to go over to someone they're attracted to, they come on too strong. And you see this like a lot of times where a guy comes over and approaches, and if you would just, chat for a bit, maybe get to know somebody, maybe exchange information and get out of there, that's much better than making somebody feel like they're trapped.
Oh, yeah.
Because guys often go in for the attack and they don't leave you alone. They don't stop. They don't know when to quit, that the woman is out there with their friends and they like to meet new people, but they also are there to spend time with their friends at night, and enjoy their friends' company. And then they get trapped all night and they're like, oh, I wish you would just leave me alone, right?
Yeah. So don't overcompensate, You might have this mentality of I need to show my confidence, I need to be bold. But if you are doing that and missing the social cues that the person is giving you, then you've completely lost the point. Being confident is being able to be in your body and in your sense of self, knowing who you are, while also being aware of what other people are giving you feedback-wise, whether that's with their body language, as we said, whether that's with their words. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to your surroundings. I've been on a date that I specifically remember. We were going to go get ice cream. I don't even think we made it to the line before this man told me his entire life story. So pace yourself, and just be aware socially of your surroundings.
The ice cream hadn't even melted yet.
We hadn't even ordered yet. We haven't even gotten in line.
Wow.
Yeah. It was interesting.
Yeah.
So just be socially aware. And now what happens often in dating apps, especially with the messaging, is many of you are emboldened by the fact that there is a keyboard between you and this person. Mm-hmm. Okay, so many of you might be more likely to come on strong through text messages, those opening lines in a message to someone you meet on a dating app. You feel like you can say anything because you don't really know them in person. And the way dating apps are designed, or a lot of them, makes you feel like people are disposable.
Yeah.
You're just swiping through almost like you're looking at products or shopping online or something like that. Mm-hmm. Remember that these are people on the other side. So you want to treat them kindly. You want to always speak with respect, just like you would in person, hopefully, if you're a decent person, so make sure that those messages that you're sending aren't overtly sexual, aren't, something that's disrespectful or rude. Try to find a connecting point. Many people will try to find something on the bio that they connect with. Mm-hmm. So guys, just be very cautious. You might think a risky move might make you stand out from the crowd. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
Yeah, you're coming on too strong, and it's gonna scare people away. You want to get to know somebody a little bit on the dating app, and then maybe, get together for a quick date, nothing too much, nothing too overwhelming, maybe a drink or, something more casual to see how it's going to go, not an all-day event or something like that.
Yeah.
It could be too much.
It could be, yeah. So be careful with your use of words and how things go, especially in the beginning. You also want to have that mindset of you're not only trying to impress them. We know that you're trying to impress your date. You want to be liked. Everybody wants to be liked. But you're also assessing if this person is a good match for you too. Mm-hmm. What can happen is we become so prepared for this date. We have everything that we want to share. We want to come off as a really good candidate. And it starts to feel like an interview. Like you're trying to impress that person, like you're trying to get the job, and less like this might be somebody that you will pursue romantically. Mm-hmm. So sometimes we can overwhelm our date with just information about us, all these great things, these achievements, everywhere we've traveled, and we forget to ask about them. So another very important point is to stay curious. Mm-hmm. People love to talk about themselves. And Dale Carnegie talks about it in his famous book that covers a lot of different social skills too. People love to share about themselves, their lives. That's something that is interesting to them. So asking them questions, being curious, it can also help you calm down if you do have dating anxiety. It gives you a moment to breathe and puts the focus back on them while also staying curious.
Yeah. Initially, you just want to stay with the basics. Don't overwhelm. Get a little bit about them, where they're from, what they like to do for fun, what they do for a career, and just see if you have a good rapport with the person.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Stay away from hot topics, politics, religion, these types of things. Prepare yourself for basic questions that they might ask you, like, what are you looking for? Mm-hmm. So now, of course, this is all dependent on your situation. Both of you might be of a certain religion, and it might be relevant to talk about that. Take everything that we say and apply it to your situation as it fits.
Yeah.
Now, another very important point is to be present. Mindfulness is huge when we're talking about dealing with one another. Earlier we were talking about that awareness. That awareness piece is so important for helping your date feel seen, but also for you to be able to remember and process how the date went itself.
Yeah, remember, anxiety makes us selfish and self-absorbed. Mm-hmm. And so when you're anxious about what's going on, and if you're having a good time with that person, it's not really allowing you to stay present with them and just enjoy the flow of things naturally, because you're always scared about the outcome.
Right. And remember to ground yourself using your senses. Mm-hmm. If you're a person who experiences social anxiety, which I definitely am at times, I got so many people, oh my God, they're all looking at me, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Focus back on your senses, okay? So what are you feeling around you? What are you smelling? What is the lighting like around you? Are there things that you notice in your environment? Get back down to the present moment. That can be something that helps. And also trying to hone in your focus on the content, because sometimes we start to hear just yap, 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 yap from their mouth, and we're in our head, we're just thinking, do they like me? Am I leaving a good impression? What if their toes smell, or whatever it is? We start thinking in our mind in tangents, and we forget, wait a minute, we're missing everything that they're saying. We're missing that present moment. So those grounding techniques can really be helpful. Another thing that can help ground is using eye contact. So this can be something, like I had said before, that can help both of you feel seen and heard and connected.
Like this, right?
And just like that, you as wide as you possibly can, stare directly into their soul.
Don't
guarantee
break
second date.
Eye contact. Don't break
We're
it.
Kidding. We're kidding. Try to use a natural flow of eye contact, but making sure that you have some in there, that you are paying attention. It's one of the first things that we do that leaves an impression on someone, is how focused they are or not on the date. And it also shows that you're being attentive. So our first impression can be in our eye contact, our facial expressions.
You really got to focus on healing your own attachment issues and your own self-esteem to be a good dater. Because if you don't, you're going to have anxieties and fears, and all these things are going to come up. You're going to be afraid of rejection. You're going to remember those times where you rejected in the past, or bullied in the past, abused in the past, and it's going to overwhelm you from enjoying the present. So you got to work through those issues the best that you can, so you get to a place where you're more well-rounded and secure within yourself, and that you know who you are and what you want.
Exactly. And something that can help with that is something we've talked about before, positive self-talk. Pay attention to your thoughts, how you talk to yourself, even before the date. If you think to yourself, oh my God, this is going to be a disaster, this is going downhill, you're probably not setting yourself up for the best case scenario.
I used to say that right at the start of the date. This is a disaster. This is going downhill. What's your name again?
Oh, you would say it to them.
Yeah, you say it to them.
And one of the things that I actually...
Somebody's going to try it. Coach Craig, it didn't work.
They left immediately.
That seems like something Larry David would do. This is going terribly.
But that thinking is so powerful. And this is something that I actually learned from a therapist that I had. Yes, the therapist of the therapist, the master boss therapist. And they were telling me just about why it's important to not always think in worst case scenario. It's because you will never be prepared for the best case scenario if you think that way.
Yep.
So being able to envision, okay, how would I want this to go? Am I prepared for how I want this to go?
Yep.
That could be something that's super helpful. This is another tip from Dale Carnegie, but he talks about assuming that others will like you. If you go into it thinking, I'm a likable person, there's things that I like about myself that I would like to share with someone else, that will give off more of that aura of, I'm here because I want to be here.
You can even put little Post-it notes around the car, don't let your date see it.
Can you imagine?
Coach Craig said, Post-it notes. You pull down the sun visor, all of a sudden the note falls down.
Oh my God.
On the middle of the date.
Another important point, which we're doing quite a lot of here, is playfulness.
It's one of my favorites.
This is one of your favorites?
Yeah. It is, because, you're enjoying the moment, and you're connecting with somebody that you can enjoy bantering with, laughing with, having fun with. I mean, what is a better way to connect? You're playing. It's a way of playing with somebody, making each other laugh. And when you have those moments, it makes you feel connected with them and safe with them. But, when you're afraid of the outcome, it's hard to play.
And another thing is that it really helps you relax. When you're playful, when you're in that creative kind of a mood, it really helps calm your body down. When you're in a regulated state is really when we can start using our imaginations and be creative. So that's another huge thing that helps on both sides. Helps us connect, helps us manage our anxiety, and has the date go better overall. So being silly can lead to a lot of free-flowing conversations, things maybe that you wouldn't typically ask, or topics that you might not typically go into, creating inside jokes with someone.
Yeah.
These are all things that are really fun. And it also leaves this air of non-judgment. When you're silly, you're just doing things to make the other person giggle and smile. So that can be a really huge connecting point for a lot of people. Humor is very, very important to a lot of people. It's part of enjoyment in life, and dating should be fun. Mm-hmm. It's not always fun. There's times where things are hard and serious and it's work, but it should also be fun.
One of the people that people love online for dating and flirting is Craig Ferguson. And, if you watch his interviews with these beautiful celebrities, he's very playful and relaxed. And, I was watching a bunch of his clips online, and he really is just trying to amuse himself. He's not worried about what she's going to think or how it's going to go. He's amusing himself. He's lightly playing with the banter and having fun and little innuendo, but then not enough that it gets creepy or off. And if it gets there, he backs off right away. Watch some of his stuff if you want to see somebody who's a really good flirt. A fellow Craig, obviously.
But you do want to have fun. You do want to create that environment, create that setting of, we're here trying to get to know each other, and this can be an enjoyable thing. If you have social anxiety, if you have dating anxiety, just get through the first 30 seconds. And once you get going, once you are able to get to that grounded place in your body, then you will find a flow in that conversation. That's the hope. It'll make it better. Sometimes you have that thought, get through the first 30 seconds, then you'll make it through the rest of it. And that's actually something that I heard from one of my clients. They said, and I really liked that, because it's that first initial part that's scary. It's all that buildup of, oh my God, what are they going to think? Once you get through it, then the rest of it can be free flowing. You don't want to miss those opportunities. And we're hoping that this video can provide many different tips and tricks, maybe something new that you try to implement, maybe things that you already knew that you just needed a reminder of. Most importantly, be yourself. Being authentic is probably one of the most important things that you can do on the date, because you want someone to like you for you.
And just remember, you don't really know this person yet, or you're just starting to get to know them. And if it doesn't work out, don't make it the end of the world, because you really don't know who they are yet. It takes time to get to know somebody.
Exactly.
Okay? All right. So hopefully this one's been helpful to you. Let us know in the comments if you like this kind of video. And of course, if you want to get our help personally, you can do that on our website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Coach Victoria is also available for Skype coaching.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat.
Just click on her name at the top of the website to schedule with her. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.